I've come to the village of Littleham, just outside Exmouth, and this is the parish church of Littleham, and it has a fairly large graveyard, and I'm just going to walk through and have a look at any interesting stones and memorials. And just inside the gate on the right hand side is this large table tomb to Sir Diggory Forrest of Exmoor, Knight, who departed this life in 1816. Parts of this churchyard have been left to grow as a wildflower reserve, while other parts have been mowed. So you get a nice mixture. Even those parts that have been allowed to grow wild are quite easy to walk through if you wish to get to a particular memorial, as there are no real brambles or nettles to worry about. Next to the road here we have a number of larger tombs, although the inscriptions are not always easy to read. We'll pick out the ones we can read. This one here has the delightful name of Benjamin Butters Bastin. Benjamin Butters Bastin. This one here that's well covered with creeper. I can read the words on the end, Madras, and then Army, who died at, and the rest of it we'll need to clear the undergrowth away to see it. Behind it are other stones that are completely overgrown with ivy and even a little bit of brambles. This one here says Joseph Webb Tobin, General in the Royal Artillery, who died at Exmouth in 1803, and Harriet his wife. Here we have one completely surrounded by this metal protective fence, and inside it reads Frances Herbert, Viscountess Nelson, Duchess of Bronte. A nice clear inscription here to Jeanette Ann, the wife of John Holmer, and at the top here we have the angel with the trumpet. There's a group of stones here in the corner which have got 6 of these anchors embedded into the stone, and it surrounds these 4 slabs. The first one is to Fairfax Morsley of Sidwey House in Staffordshire. This one here is to Eliza Louisa Moresby, for more than 60 years the wife of Fairfax Moresby, Admiral of the Fleet, 1795-1874. Behind that we have one to Antonia Rotton, daughter of R.J. Rotton of Duffield, County Derby. And then we have Fairfax Moresby, the only son of Captain Fairfax Moresby, Royal Navy, died 1826. There's a couple of very large tombs here, but the inscriptions are going to be impossible to decipher. But over here we have Catherine, the wife of William Pierce, who died in 1878, and you've got other members of the Pierce family. This reads Lieutenant R.C. Pinniger, 26th Punjabis, who died 1920 of disease contracted in Mesopotamia. And then we got 2nd Lieutenant W.J. Pinniger, RFA, killed in action near Ypres, 1917, age 20, and he's interred in the Dragoon Camp Cemetery at Bousignon. Joseph Barrington Deacon, formerly of the 58th Regiment and of the Royal Scots Greys, eldest surviving son of the late George Edward Deacon, M.A., the Vicar of Leek in Staffordshire. Up here in the bit that's left to be nature reserve, we have a very elaborate one here with the cross and the statue of the young girl in front. There are a number of war graves in this cemetery, and I'll just give you a shot of each of them as I go past. This is F.H. Barnes of the 2nd Regiment of South African Infantry, 1918. One here who was important in the local community, William Cleverden, Chief Officer of Exmouth Coast Guard Station, 1880, aged 41. And another local person with an important role, Thomas Giles Pincombe, late pilot of this port, 1874, aged 53. This stone, which is falling forward, is in memory of Albert Edward, aged 6 years, William Henry, aged 18 years, the beloved sons of W.T. Quigley, Chief Officer of Coast Guard in Exmouth. On the ground here, and almost hidden underneath this holly tree, is Martha Ellen, the wife of Sutherland Dumbreck, and Sutherland Dumbreck of the 1st Royal Dragoon, and David Dumbreck of the 5th Northumberland Fusiliers. There are a number of other CWGC war memorials here, but this one here is just a little different. Reginald C. Whiting, Lieutenant King's Liverpool Regiment, of wounds received at Armentières. And this one here is to John Montague Harwick Jackson, 5th Oxfordshire and Bucks, died 1915 of wounds received in action at Ypres. And one here for Henry John Northcott, 2nd Lieutenant Dorset Regiment, who died 1918 of wounds received on the 9th and 10th at La Cateau. As we move up through the graveyard, we find more and more of it has been left as wildflowers, nature reserve, and it's rather picturesque, photogenic, with the gravestones rising out of the wildflowers and the long grass. And it's all accessible. If you wish to tramp through it, you can get to the stones. And further up here, 2 more of these war graves, and in the distance I can see a group of 3 or 4 more. There are a lot of CWGC war graves. I've gone even further back in the graveyard, and now there's a very large area here which has been cut back, and a lot more modern stones, memorials, but again I can see war graves and a lot of exploring to do. It's a little bit more wild here, but the stones are still accessible. It's very, very peaceful here. A bit of traffic noise in the background, but nice spot, nice place to explore. There's an overgrown plot here with a pair of matching stones there, and then down in front a pair of matching smaller stones. Without trying to get to the inscriptions, which are hard to reach, one can only imagine those were 2 children. I'll leave you with these parting shots of the graveyard and cemetery at Littleham, just outside Exmouth. It's a lovely spot. We haven't really had a chance to explore it all. It's deserving of a much longer visit, but if you're in Exmouth or on the south coast of Devon, it's certainly worth a visit, and a few hours here just walking amongst the wildlife and the stones and the memorials. Very nice churchyard. Till the next time.